Hello all and welcome to Dad Plays Games. This is episode 3. I'm looking at Diablo 3. I know what you're thinking, Diablo 3. Why would you want to play a game that's that old? Well, if you haven't revisited Diablo in a while, I'd say now is the time. Diablo 3 has gone through a ton of changes in the last couple of years. The game started with a huge flaw on the PC in the fact of a auction house. I have to confess, when I originally played the game, I used the auction house because the drops were terrible. They since dropped the auction house after releasing on console and did Loot 2.0, which made a huge difference in what kind of drops you get. And they've been adding a whole ton of game modes. I'm not going to play with my main character here, which is Ariel, my wizard. As you can see, she's crazy decked out in some amazing gear. You can also, when you look at your character, when you look at game settings, there's a whole bunch of different options of game types. Because I finished the game before, I'm actually doing this campaign again in hard mode. But there's also the adventure mode, which I'm not going to actually play through it, but it's really interesting to show you what they've done. If people who don't know, there's bounties and exploration, which is really cool. So basically what you can do is you can go to each map in Diablo 3, and that includes the Reaper of Souls expansion, which is amazing. Very, very good expansion. And a must-play for any Diablo 3 fan. So basically when you come here, you can actually choose to collect bounties of all types, whether they be... this is an artisan. Well, that's interesting. Maybe I killed this guy. You can choose bounties of all types.
Thank you for coming here. There are many bounties
Undertakes
to undertake.
That fool actually killed me. Of course, this was not my first time.
So if you go to the obelisk, you can
I imagine it will
do a bunch of
Fortunately,
rifts,
I am well prepared.
which bring you to different types of maps. But if you also want to go to a waypoint, you can actually choose bounties. And when you come here,
Coming back to life.
sorry, I didn't do this right. I'm actually going somewhere. So when you come here, there's objectives. So the bounty is kill the mage Lord Costas. So enter the storm halls, kill enemies in the storm halls, and kill mage Lord Costas. So by doing this, you get crazy drops, you get rewards, you get a celebration of the bounty, and it basically will keep giving you better drops and levels, so you can get up to that mythical level 70 when you can become a torment level, which gives you all sorts of harder stuff. But that's not what I'm doing right now. I'm doing another really cool thing about Diablo 3 that they've done, and it's something called seasons. So what seasons is, it's the opportunity for you to roll a brand new character. There's 6 character types, 6 of drops of stationary things that can help defend you. You have shields, all sorts of stuff like that. But what the nice thing about seasons is you can actually roll a character, and as you see here, this is a seasonal character. So I have to start from 1. There is no, and as you can see, she's definitely a lot less equipped than my main character here. So it's a Demon Hunter. I've never tried the Demon Hunter before. It was one of the newer archetypes that they created, and it's my kind of character, dual wield, all that kind of stuff. I've only played 17 minutes, so I don't mind playing this with you. You're going to miss the beginning. But the nice thing about seasonal is you're sitting there going, well, why don't I just start a new game and create a new character and do that? Well, the cool thing about seasonal is in Chapter 1, there's 9 progresses, or 9 objectives. So if I complete all 9 of the objectives, I get special armor, which is called the Shadow's Mantle, which is pretty cool. I get a neat portrait frame, and I get a pet that you can carry on with you. So, you know, it kind of gives you that incentive to finish the stuff in Chapter 1. So I'm going to play through the game, but you also have to go back and, you know, do bounties or get to level 35 or kill Magda, you know, kill the Skeleton King, things like that. So I think it's really neat that you can do this. So I'm going to jump back in. The benefit is you get to see me play a bit of the game while I'm doing it. So the other day and compared it to Diablo, and I got to say Grim Dawn is a fantastic game, but man, this company, they just know their stuff. It's amazing to me how Blizzard can make games and craft them in a way that just, you know, makes you want to play. It's like unnerving almost how good this game is and how much it makes you just want to be there. So the story so far, I'm trying to find Deckard Cain. If you remember Deckard Cain's from all the games, Deckard is in this cathedral. You know, he's trapped here. This is where the star fell. Don't know yet what the star is. I do because I played through the game, but you don't because you've never, maybe haven't played Diablo 3 before. But just so you know, I mean, Reaper of Souls is a bit old now. A lot of concentration is on StarCraft and Legacy of the Void, which is their newest release, plus some of their other games. So you could actually pick up Diablo 3 and Reaper of Souls for a pretty affordable price, I have to say. It's well worth it. You'll sink a lot of hours into this if you like these kind of games. Obviously, Diablo 3 does it better than anyone else. And Reaper of Souls was a really fun expansion, and all the extra stuff you could do now is so much above and beyond this game. One thing I really like about Diablo is every time you meet a new character, you get this kind of cool lore read by Deckard Cain, which I enjoy. And sometimes it's not always Deckard, sometimes it's other people. Grotesque, don't like this guy. I just leveled up, love it. And I love games like this that are like, hey, here's a level, here's some spells, here's some abilities. So they give you all sorts of, there's a lore, I made a grotesque. So I got a new ability, and you see under secondary, primary, if there's something new, it's right there. So I had a knife that impales enemies. Let's see what I got now.
It is said
like
that
that.
these horrors
Rapid fire is
themselves
kinda cool.
are constructed by a greater evil, a darkness that I cannot even
That's a good skill.
fathom.
One thing's Diablo's always been known for, too, you know, it's positive and negative, is this constant need to click everything, you know, it's interesting. I like that they have these little traps, too. I don't know if you noticed I did that, but they have these really cool little traps that let you pick stuff up. And they have these adventures, these little bodies and stuff that you can always flip. And I always flip them, every single time. But generally there's nothing there, I'll confess. Usually when you flip them, you're not getting what you think you're getting. It's not the, gross. Ooh, arcane dust. This new rapid fire is awesome. What's arcane dust? Okay, I'll take it. I've played through this now, let's see, how many times? I'm gonna say this will be my 4th time. And also, did you notice, like, just fun things like I destroyed a bunch of stuff, and it gave me a speed bonus because I destroyed a bunch of stuff. Like, why? Why not? These are little things that were not there in version 1 of Diablo 3. Like, when I played that game, there was so little extras and bonuses, and you know, it was the base game, and there's really not much to it. And the auction house was super frustrating in the fact that the drops were so terrible that anytime I really wanted to get ahead, I actually found I had to go to the auction house, and I did. And you know what? It helped me finish the game because it got pretty challenging near the end. Because I swear to God, if I hadn't done the auction house, I wouldn't have done it. So they took them a bit of time, but you know, they did do it. They made a game that stands the test of time, and it's, you know, they're doing the same thing with StarCraft, and I'll do another Let's Play of that one day, because StarCraft is another game that they kind of invested more resources into, in the fact that Caltrip's down. Ow. In the fact that, you know, they have co-op now in StarCraft. You can find a team just by doing an auto search. You can this is so cool. I love this skill. So far I'm liking the Demon Hunter. It's a pretty good right off the bat. You get this kind of arrow that it's called a thirsty arrow or hungry arrow or something. Oh, and by the way, note to every single bloody game developer out there, do this, please. As soon as you find something, just open it. Don't make me go into my inventory and have to click something. That's useless. I'm reading about someone's dark and corrupted heart. And you know, there's none of this wasted time of going into your inventory, stopping the flow of the game. No one needs that. Like, that's not conducive to a fun game. That's just, you know, you annoying your players. and doing something that, you know, is completely useless, quite honestly. So yeah, note to developers, just make those bloody things auto open, you know, or maybe make it a toggle. I don't care. Just having to go into a menu to read or listen, you know, I get if it's reading. There's stuff, you know, in every game that you have to read, and you know, so you click on that. That's fine. But if it's something like an audio journal or something like that, just open it. Even Bioshock, which I found did it really well, kind of made you you know, hold the right thumbstick down or whatever key on PC if you played it on keyboard and mouse. Why? Just play it. One thing they did do well is when you walk around, and they do that here, it keeps playing. I hate and despise games that when you leave the area, all of a sudden you can't hear the audio anymore. Like, I mean, come on, that's just useless. Like, why would you do that anyway? So typical Diablo-looking environments look great, obviously. Ooh, there's stone. Dead villager again. I'm doing it. Can't stop myself. But this game, I love it. It's just something about it just tickles me, and I keep coming back to it every now and then. I guess playing Grim Dawn the other day actually inspired me to tick into it again. Plus, the new season started. You have an empty equipment slot. What? All right. 9.8. Well, that looks good. What empty equipment slot? Okay. Does it matter what kind of bow I use? Can I still do my skills? Yep. All right. Yes. What was I saying? So sorry, I got distracted by the mechanics of this game. Yeah, it's just it's you know, the nice thing about what they're doing here is all this stuff they're doing is free. There's no microtrans as far as I know. There's no, I'm sure there is in some form, but they're really just trying to encourage you to keep playing the game. You know, whether you're done or not, it just wants you to keep playing the game. I don't know how demon bats got affected by my caltrops, but you know, let's just not worry about that. I like how she kneels when she does that. That's a cool animation. So again, I'm looking for Deckard Cain, which means I need to go lower and lower into this cathedral. Deckard is taken prisoner, or was lost here when he was searching for the fallen star. We know Deckard is always in the middle of everything when there's crap going on in the world of Diablo. So, you know, Deckard probably in the wrong place at the wrong time as usual, and you know, now we're gonna go rescue him. This game is like bloody and violent. I remember when they announced Diablo 3, if anyone remembers this. They released a screenshot, and I guess the character was going over a bridge, and there was a rainbow, double rainbow across the sky. And the uproar about that rainbow was hilarious. It was like people saying, it's Diablo, there's no rainbows here. How could you put a rainbow in the middle of this to make Diablo not Diablo? Okay, it's a background image. Sure, you can be very upset about that, but anyway, people get upset at everything. Oh, what's going on here? Maybe we'll see Deckard Cain. Gonna take a sip of coffee. Well, he's got. So we ate lunch already. I'm sorry, you're not gonna hear me eat, but I'm gonna be drinking coffee.
The power of the fallen star awakened me, and soon all will suffer.
It's King Leoric.
As I have suffered. Gods,
He's the one who went crazy. I can't remember which game with Diablo. Uh-oh. Ruh-roh. Right there's just an old man. I gotta go help him. Let's go help Deckard Cain.
I'm here to rescue you.
Oh, stop whining. Yeah, baby. Well, that was easy.
Thank you, but why did you...
Leah
Why?
asked for my aid.
Leah asked.
She will be
Leah's
relieved to see
niece?
you.
It is wonderful to hear that Leah is well. I feared the worst. I learned of this secret passage through old maps I found.
Wow, this is all new. This stuff that's going on here. I have never seen that before. These Nephilim,
This cannot be opened yet.
all these little bonuses. This is definitely new in the patch. So this is something I haven't experienced. So I'm kind of really happy that I'm seeing this with you guys, because these little power ups I'm getting, that's really neat. So the speed boosts and the I got like an experience boost.
The fallen star. Follow me.
All right, let's go back to Tristram so he can meet his niece again.
I promised Leah that I would save her uncle,
So,
Deckard Cain.
A little bit more
When I
about me while
found
this is
him,
loading up. So
he
this
was
is
facing the Skeleton
the
King.
backstory, which you can experience
And now
yourself.
this
So I mentioned
abomination
on my
blocks
first video
my
that
path to the
I'm
fallen
a dad
star.
who works at home sometimes and plays games while he eats lunch. I'm a professional in the telecommunications industry. 41, been playing games since I was 10. So long, unfortunately long time, 31 years.
Thanks to you.
Never lost my passion. I remember the first time I went deep was when I was playing Final Fantasy VI.
A tragic story.
Or 3, it was in North America. Because
I am the last.
I've read all this before, so I apologize, I'm skipping past it, but
tried to make up for my
I've seen the story.
I can decipher it.
You and Leah seem very
Final Fantasy
close.
VI, yeah, that game, my brother and I played the hell out of that game. We actually even made this Bible. There was this Colosseum in Final Fantasy VI that
was driven
if you could choose a monster and you could choose an item, and if you beat the monster,
I've spent most of my life
um,
trapped as your uncle.
you'd get a different item
What did
depending on
learn
what you
of your
bid. So
mother?
he and I
She
made
was in search of
a pre-computer spreadsheet. So we obviously didn't have you know, the kind of computers that are easily accessible today. We had a pretty basic computer. Actually, I don't even know if we had our computer at that time. So we had this binder that had pages and pages and pages of references to the monsters, the items, and what you could get. So that was like the first thing, and I accidentally sold some arcane dust. I should have done that. That was the first thing that I really got obsessed over. Like, really got obsessed. Oh, Grim Dawn, by the way, another tip for you. Right-click to go to storage. Why do I have to move it over? Right-click to go to storage. Always right-click to go to storage. I like in here, this is your storage. As you get bigger and stronger, you get a ton of gold. I had a ton of gold in my alt character. You can buy more storage for 100,000 gold. Awesome. Also, anything in storage counts towards your crafting materials. So if you have a need for crafting, artisan. What about Miriam?
Chelsea. How sweet of you to keep
This
us
is
the
the artisan,
very
which is really cool. I'll open it and show you what
will
she
you
does.
do?
Craft. So what the artisan can do is, if you have an item, I'll see if I can afford it. I put this
I will
here.
not do that.
Okay, so it's only legendaries and rares, so of course I don't have them yet. But basically, really cool. All of the artisans and such you can upgrade and train, so you can get more transmogrification options, or more blacksmith options, or more gem options. So you can upgrade with money, which is great, because you know, as you get more powerful, you need better stuff. If you have a legendary or rare item, you can actually get her to adjust the properties on it randomly. I don't know, usable wings, I don't know, usable pets, portrait frames. All I have is a basic portrait frame. Pennants, I don't have any pennants. I can't customize myself at all. That's what the seasonal stuff is going to give me. So I need to talk to the blacksmith. I need the crown of Lyric. Gotta go help him with his wife. Help me with my wife. This isn't going to end bad. It's going to end badly. I think his wife is sick. She's been, you know, surrounded by the damned, and you know what happens to the damned. They come back as zombies, of course, because it's always zombies. And, you know, is his wife going to be okay? You draw your own conclusions, but I'm going to say probably not.
Sorrow won't save your town, blacksmith.
But let's see. There's his wife. How are you doing, honey?
My love,
My love.
forgive me.
Forgive me. Rah.
Help me!
Oh boy, that's not good. Yeah.
I couldn't have done this without you.
There is one
I
thing.
can help you. You'll find his tomb in a cemetery in the Weeping Hollow. And if you see my fool apprentice out there, tell him to get back to town.
Well, so this is something cool. Runes that are attached to your skills. So you've got these 5 skills, but also each of the skills have 5 runes you can attach to them to modify the skill. So I just added Hungering Arrow, Puncturing Arrow, so it adds a Puncture Attempt, which is kind of cool. So, you know, multiply all that together, and you can't, there's no skill tree with brackets, but there's a ton of different skill options. So obviously, you know, I've unlocked him. He's going to be a blacksmith for me shortly. I now need to go find his apprentice, which means more exploring, which I'll start doing right now. So, killing these, that's perversions. And so Diablo's a dark game, obviously, both visually and tonally. Lots of dead and death and dying and death and dying and death. So I like out my skills so far, except for my
Sweet revenge.
middle skill, which is the caltrops, which I find kind of useless because it's just slow. Can't wait till that upgrades to something better. But this repeating arrow thing is awesome. New monster.
Scavengers are
I need
ugly,
more hatred to do that.
creatures who survive off of carrion and corpses.
What I like too is that all the creatures, all the class types have different power conductors. She's, what is it? Discipline and hatred. A fast-running resource used to fuel the demon hunter's offensive abilities. Discipline, tactical abilities. So my caltrops and other things are tactical, and you know, hatred is fueling all of my kind of offensive abilities, which is kind of neat if you think about it. It's like, instead of like mana and, you know, health, it's like different, which is interesting. So yes, gaming. So, you know, I knew that day that gaming was always going to be a big part of my life, and, you know, all through high school, I did a lot of gaming. I got my first gaming PC, first PC anyway, when I was in college, but I always had a console. So I had a Sega Genesis, and I had a Super Nintendo through my brother, and, you know, I used my Genesis for a long time, and then I went to PC gaming for a while when I was in college. But my first kind of modern console was, like a lot of people, a PlayStation. That I didn't get it day one, but I got it pretty early on, and the PlayStation was an eye-opener for me. I'd gamed a lot still, but PlayStation is when I became pretty serious about it, to the point that when the PS2 came out, I lined up at an EB Games or GameStop or whatever it was at the time, and I picked it up day one. So yeah, pretty fanatical about that system, that's for sure. It was always a good time. So, got my little speed bonus. Completed. Find the cemetery. So I got that waypoint unlocked, which is awesome. Let's get another speed bonus.
During the last days of King Leoric's reign, even the skeletons of the ancient dead could not rest. They took up their broken armor and weapons once more, ready to cut down anything that yet...
When King Leoric came to court, he brought many nobles with him, and nobles, oddly enough, want noble crypts. So I showed up with my shovel.
So, bottom line is, on this game, and I'm just going to play till I get the crown, I think. is, you know, really if you played this game in the past and you're like, I played Diablo, really revisit this game, reinstall it on your hard drive, you know, give it a try. Defiled crypt, give me maybe some items. So I gotta search for altar.
My hatred is too low.
I love that arrow. I can get experience bonuses. Anyway, the game's a ton of fun, as you can see. Loot drops are always so satisfying. It doesn't look like the loot drops are great yet, but trust me, they're really good. It's so improved over what used to be here. Ooh, these are interesting. Surprised I didn't get new lore for that. I don't remember seeing those before. So my hatred refills the more I kill and the more I get damaged. So it's basically, you know, oh, you're getting hurt or you're hurting people, and your hatred gets stronger. So I am a demon hunter, so obviously it's not a happy-go-lucky profession. Being a demon hunter is pretty serious business, I guess. So they don't expect you to be smiling and laughing when this happens. So.
Demons have been known to devour their own young when no other nourishment is available.
So back to
Their
impale,
offspring,
and then
the
impact.
imps,
Impact causes knockback.
sometimes manage to flee and band together with other demon spawn. They rove in vicious packs, ready to descend upon the unwary traveler and rip his body to shreds with their tiny needle-sharp teeth.
Needle sharp teeth. The Gravediggers, I don't remember those guys.
The tragedies in these lands have left many restless spirits in their wake, and they demand retribution. These spirits will take out their vengeance on any unsuspecting individual who may pass, for they believe that the blood of the
My
living will
hatred
yet
is too
restore
low.
the lives that were ripped away from them.
That's the murderer. So anyway, back to Diablo 3. What the big deal is? So these guys, so interesting. These ghostly murderers. Children. So yeah. Anyway, I'm lost for words a little bit right now, but essentially, just keep breaking up the kills, so how do I game so much? I work a lot of hours. I'm definitely not a 9-to-5 guy. That's part of the reason why I work from home. Sometimes I have to get up early in the morning. Sometimes I have very late meetings. So, you know, I have 2 kids. I am divorced with a new wife. So I have the kids half the time on Wednesdays to Sundays every week. So, but when I'm here with my wife on Sunday to Tuesday, obviously we want to do some things together. So I'm not allowed to. Not allowed is a bad word, but you know, it wouldn't be very nice to sit in my my office or on the couch and play video games all the time. So how do I do it? Well, sometimes my wife goes to yoga, so I play then. Sometimes I
have a feeling that the crowd is nearby.
you know, do things like this where I play at my lunchtime. There's other times that you know, I do obviously come upstairs when I want to sometimes and play a little bit and just disappear for an hour or two. And other times I just go to bed after her and I just, you know, take my time and I play some games. So you just find the time when you can find the time. That's the key. Oh boy. Yeah, knock back.
I need more hatred to do that.
Well, that was a little easier than I think it should have been. That guy was crazy cool.
The unburied are formed from
There's a
human
Chancellor's
corpses
Tome,
that
so I
were
can get
flung
that
into mass
crown.
graves without a proper burial. This hideous amalgamation of bodies decomposes together into one being,
Yum.
bound by some foul magic. For all my knowledge, I could only flee from it. And I would expect any other sensible person to do the same.
Well, I didn't. I fought it. That's what I do. Oh, and also, you know, you get these kind of elite enemies here that obviously are a lot tougher than your traditionals. Usually really easy to spot because, you know, surrounded by like crazy nimbuses of energy.
In the eastern kingdom of Khejistan, I heard rumors of Zakarum warriors called Crusaders. While the natives were most reticent,
Nope.
I was able
Oh,
to
that's cool. I
deduce
forgot
that
about that.
this order
That's a
was
little portal to
founded
bring you back up top.
200 years ago, just as Rakis took his
So
army
anyway,
of Vikings west.
everyone has
But
their own
these Crusaders
techniques.
went
I'm not alone
east on a
in
very
being a
different
busy
mission.
person who likes to keep on top of their hobbies. It's really important to me to stay involved in the gaming industry. I write for an online magazine really focused around gaming. It isn't a job for me. It's just something I do out of enjoyment and passion for the industry. I also go to PAX East once a year, and obviously it's a big disruption to do that, but it's something I really enjoy. Hey! That was simple. So, you know, I try to keep on top of it as much as I can. So let me take that crown. Thank you so much. Continue.
I am returning to town.
Portal back. And then we'll talk to Hedrick, and then we'll wrap this one up. But first I'm going to check out my inventory, because I got a nice yellow bow. Lightning damage, vitality, resource cost, monster kills, grab +1 experience. Done. Done. Yeah. No. But I do not have a belt, so I'll do that. That's more crafting material. Alright, awesome. So Hedrick is going to be your blacksmith, so he's going to sit up here.
Found the crown.
I've got the crown. Repair the crown for me. Thank you so much, Hedrick. You're the best.
It's good to work again.
And then, do I get to equip it? I can't remember.
New as the day it was placed upon the Black King's head. I need something more than making
Then
speed.
we are allies.
Oh, look. It's going to make me stuff. I didn't have bracers before. Now I do. And then, you know, I could talk to him. Who was your grandfather? So let's salvage stuff. Well, that's cool. So I can forge stuff. What does this do? Oof, level 15. I gotta wait on that. 12, level 8. So yeah, neat stuff that you can forge armor that has properties. Magic belt, heavy boots. Let's do it. 26 to 3. Yeah, I'll do that. Sweet. Oh, helm. I don't have a helm yet. Level 9. I'm sorry. Might as well make that. Yeehaw. Okay. What else do I have that... So, new gloves. No good. No good. Got my tunic. Repair. Don't need repair. Don't need to train yet because I'm creating stuff I can't even equip yet. So,
How might I use the crown to reach the
How might I
when he is destroyed?
alright. So I'll use the waypoint. First I'll sell all the stuff, and then I will put in my other crafting stuff here. You notice the crafting is always used when it's in your stash, which is really cool. So that's it. This is Diablo 3. Really kind of, say enough that if you've played the game 2-3 years ago and you're like, I finished it, go back in, man. Reaper Souls is a great new story to explore, and all the extra stuff like the adventures and bounties and exploration, really cool. Creating a new character for a season gives you a fresh way to recreate it and work towards all of those goals. I can go right. I can raise my difficulty. I can go in and look at things really quickly and I can equip stuff right from my collection once I get them. So if I get a pet, I'll be able to use it too. Just a really neat way to really re-examine the game. So this has been Dad Plays Games at Lunch. Just drinking coffee at this time though.